The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayor's and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hey, welcome everyone to this week's edition of the State of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. Yeah, that's what happens when you do too many of these things. Forget which one you're doing. It's the Mayors and Supervisors Update. Each week we talk about the goings-on around the cities or towns and villages that we cover here in the Sentinel. And let's start off with this week. This week, by the way, you know who I am, so I'm not going to announce myself, but I will say that I will be reading for Rick Milne, Mayor of Honeywell Falls. He sent this. He's not available right now, but he did want to relay the following information. The village has continued to try to gather donations from community members to support Ukraine and appreciate those who have been able to assist. The Honeywell Falls Mendon Rotary Club did a great job collecting, and we appreciate their efforts. All items collected are being brought to the Monroe County collection site. This week, Governor Hochul had a flag-raising ceremony in Albany, posting the Ukrainian flag in Albany, and asked the municipalities across New York State to consider the same. Honeywell Falls posted a Ukrainian flag on the front of our village hall as a sign of respect and support. This marked 1 month since the invasion of Ukraine by Russian forces. On Thursday, May 31st, there will be a spaghetti dinner fundraiser supporting the Seneca Place fire victims. This will be held at the Methodist Church on East Street in Honeywell Falls, and we appreciate all those involved in this effort. 100% of the money raised will go to those displaced by and those who lost belongings to the fire. This event will be run from 2 to 6 p.m., and there is a dine-in or drive-through option available. This is a free will type event where we're asking people to pay as much as they can or what they feel is appropriate for this fundraiser. The village annual meeting, budget public hearing and approval takes place on Monday, April 4th. At 6 p.m., the village will vote to repeal local law number 5 of 2021, thus stating that the village will not exceed the New York State tax cap in its new budget for 2022/2023. At 6:05 p.m., the public hearing for our new 2022/2023 budget will take place and a vote for approval if appropriate. Then at approximately 6:30 p.m., the village will conduct its annual meeting where appointments and designations are made. A quick thank you to all our emergency service workers supporting our community locally. Our volunteer and per diem staff members are all appreciated. We appreciate the EMS and fire department members and the incredible response they continue to provide. We also appreciate our local medical personnel, nurses, doctors, as well as our sheriff patrol officers and New York State Police for their continued service. And that was from Rick Milne, Mayor of Honeywell Falls. Let's turn it over to Eileen Hansen, the Mayor of Scottsville, at least for a few more days. Eileen, what's happening?
For a few more days. For Thursday at midnight is my last day, my last time. Turn in my keys. Well, good afternoon, everyone. And I want to thank the Sentinel for the opportunity that you provide for area villages and towns to update their residents on the things that are happening in our area. This will be my last time filling you in on what's happening in Scottsville. I decided not to run for a second term, and Scottsville will have a new mayor starting April 1st. So thanks, Chris, for creating this platform for residents to keep up with the news, and to all the mayors and supervisors participating for all their help and support. And thank you to the Scottsville Board of Trustees for their hard work over the past 4 years. Their service to the community is greatly appreciated. And finally, thank you to all the residents of the village of Scottsville for their support I live in Scottsville, this wonderful community, and have since I was 8 years old, and I'm proud to call myself a Scottsvillian. Now, this weekly broadcast is a great way for the area residents to keep up, and I hope more and more people will listen in weekly to find out the goings-on in the area. Okay, now on to some updates. The village elections are now certified. Maggie Ridge is the mayor. Andy Fraser and Wayne LeVere are filling the trustee seats. And the referendum on cannabis retail sales, which ended in a tie, has been recounted, and it has come up with 118 yes and 119 no. Therefore, the village is opted out of retail cannabis sales. This is a decision that will be sent into the state, and at a later date, the village can opt in. Just remember that once you opt in, it is done. It is a done deal. So right now we are opted out, and it will give us more time to get more information on the details of rolling out this retail cannabis sales. Now, I have met with Maggie Ridge, the incoming mayor, to begin the transition, and have offered my help as she begins being your new mayor. And finally, the organizational meeting will be held on April 4th, 2022. It's a Monday at 6 p.m. in the municipal building. This is the meeting to swear in newly elected officials and to organize and to make appointments and designations for the coming fiscal year. So one more time, this is my last time. Thank you, everybody. This has been wonderful. And I'll have to tune in and watch you guys now. So take care, everyone. I'll see you on the village streets in Scottsville as the good weather starts coming. That's it.
Thank you, Eileen. And it's been wonderful having you on. You're a great announcer of what's going on. And we can tell that, you have this teacher talent that really helps people understand things sometimes that are a little harder to understand. And hopefully you'll give me Maggie's email so that I can invite her for next week's meeting. All right. So speaking of, you're muted there.
Yeah, no, I will definitely do that. We have to set up her emails in the office, and our clerk will be doing that. And like I said, I've met with her. She's excited about coming in, and we'll get her all set up and ready to roll.
Excellent.
Friday.
Thanks again, Eileen. All right,
Okay.
speaking of village elections, we did get a note from John Skiptunis, the mayor of the village of Lima, and John reports the following, that their village elections are also certified. John Waddick won the trustee election by 16 votes. Congratulations to him and to Chris Held for a hard-fought campaign. So that's from John Skiptunis of the village of Honeywell Falls. No, the village of Lima. Sorry, Rick. Sorry, John. Oh, man. Long day. It's not even halfway done yet. Speaking of Lima, how about the town of Lima? Mike, save me from my flubs. What's going on in Lima?
Hello, Chris. Thanks for having us. So for the last 5 months, I have been working to try to put together some assistance for the village of Lima with their fiber optic project. This past Wednesday, the Livingston County Board of Supervisors approved $178,000 to go toward that project. The village, of course, won a grant from the Northern Border Regional Commission to pay for them the balance of it. And it is aligned with the county's goal of getting fiber to each address within the county borders. So congratulations to the village. That should help them on their way getting moving forward. If you are gardening, you have the chance to win a composter. courtesy of the GLOW Region Solid Waste Committee, of which I represent Livingston County on. You can pick up one of these applications free here from the town clerk and send it in and be entered to win a composter. You must reside in either Livingston, Wyoming, or Genesee counties. Let's see, I was at NISAC, the New York State Association of Counties meetings last week. I did bring back with me this packet, which this explains in great detail what is being debated now in Albany regarding the New York State Climate Act. It is a lot of pages, and this is just an overview. Obviously, the act that they're debating has more detail, but if you would like a copy of this, I can certainly email you one. You are getting a scan with my scribblings and notes on it, but supervisor@townoflima.org, and I'll be happy to send you the attachment. The quick highlight, by 2035, there will be no fossil fuel emitting cars or appliances sold in New York State. So no gas hot water heaters or cooktops, no gasoline cars, no plow trucks for your municipality, no, none of that. And that's on page 3. So there's also regulations in here about farming, cows, you name it. It is very, very wide reaching and all encompassing. So again, if you're interested, email me and I'll forward you over a copy. Lastly here, the Livingston County Board of Supervisors did proclaim March 29th as Vietnam Veterans War Day in Livingston County. Of the 58,318 names listed on the official Vietnam Veterans Memorial, 21 of them were from Livingston County, and we recognize their sacrifice and the efforts of everyone else locally who participated in that conflict. There will be an open house at the American Legion Daniel Goho post, which is in Dansville at 34 Elizabeth Street on Sunday, March 27th from 2 to 4 p.m. And that's all I've got, Chris.
All right, Mike, thanks. John Moffett, town of Mendon, how we doing there?
Great, Chris. Thanks for having me. And I wanted to bring up a couple of things today. Number one is that anybody who's been traveling down the Rush Mendon Road has seen that there is quite a bit of tree cutting by the utilities there. So that is something that is the utilities are required to do. We've had our fair share of power outages, and they feel that that will eliminate, because they do get fined. They do get fined when there is power outages and that type of thing. So they are cutting down a lot of trees. The only thing I can say is that hopefully that will result in less power outages in the town of Mendon. So running new wires down there, and it's quite a large job. So we've had a few phone calls about that. Also, town board is having a special meeting on March 28th at the community center. That is to further discuss the military memorial and spray park. There will not be any awarding of bids at that meeting. Our next regular scheduled meeting will be Monday, April 11th, and I would anticipate that any possibility of any bids being awarded will be done at that meeting. COVID tests. I've mentioned this before. We have lots of COVID tests here. The COVID tests that were given out months ago do expire in May of 2022. So if you need some COVID tests to maybe restock once those are expired, please feel free to stop in at the Mendon Town Hall. Brush pickup. The highway department will begin brush pickup on Monday, April 25th. That they start on the east side of town and work west. And it usually takes them about 2 weeks to get through the whole town. And once again, that is the town of Mendon outside the village of Honeywell Falls. Residents are still able to bring brush to the highway department during normal business hours. And even residents of the village of Honeywell Falls are able to bring brush to the highway department as well during normal business hours, because when the village picks up their brush, they bring it to us. And then we have it ground every year, and then the company that grinds it eventually colors it, turns it into mulch, and we have a contract with them for I think we're in year 2 of a 3-year contract. So that's about it for today, but as always, thanks for having me, and we're still waiting on a little more spring in the weather report.
Might have to wait a few more days. All right. Anybody else have anything that they might want to add? Seeing nothing, I want to thank you guys for being here again. Eileen, it has been wonderful having you. Wish you the best of times going forward. And everybody else, we'll see you again every Sunday at 1 o'clock on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Bye-bye for now.
Nice working with you, Eileen.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.